today with the AWT. Now, as far as syllabus is concerned, today we'll go into detail about AWT components and its action corresponding to that each component which are present in AWT. So we'll move further and we'll start with this AWT. Now, basically, when we talk about AWT, it is nothing but an abstract window toolkit. It is an API to develop GUI, that is graphical user interface, or a window-based application. We are only creating window-based application using AWT component. We cannot create web-based application. So that you have to keep in mind. AWT is only for the purpose of creating Windows application. And these are ready-made APIs. We just have to use the code, that is the basic classes, the interfaces, and the functions which are required for the implementing each component. So that we have to do with Java AWT APIs. And as far as Java AWT components, these are platform independent. So it is platform dependent. That is, components are displayed according to the view of operating system. So whenever you are creating a specific Windows based application for different operating system, what you have to keep in mind is that you should be very specific about the placement, that is the element where it should be placed, and the representation of elements, because as the product it will get executed on different operating system, because Java itself is what is called as platform independent. But as far as AWT is concerned, it is platform dependent. So that you have to keep in mind. So if you are concerned with the GUI, that is, you are concerned with the look and feel of your application, it is most important you should be very specific about the components whenever you are placing it on your form. Now, as far as AWT is concerned, majorly people don't prefer to go for AWT because it is heavy weighted. So this is the major drawback of AWT component. But as we should know what all components are there, because on this it has been reframed, and enhanced product is being created in a Swing component. So as far as AWT is concerned, it is heavy weighted and Swing is light weighted. And we have a very huge number of scope which is available in Swing components. But as far as AWT is concerned, as a student level, you should know each and every component, the classes, the interfaces, and the listener classes which are required for the implementing, generating the event for each component. You should know everything. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind, that AWT is a heavy weighted, what is called as components, which we use for the purpose of GUI representation. Now, as far as the package is concerned, there is only one package which is responsible for displaying the component on the screen, that is java.awt package. Now, this AWT package contains different classes. Now, as far as the below part is concerned, that is this AWT component, this is nothing but an API, a package that contains a list of classes. And when you want to display a text box, you have to use a class called the text field. So based on each component, there are different classes we have to use. We have to call those. We have to create an object of those classes, and then only it will be visible on a screen. In a previous session, we have seen the different layouts, that is border layout, then your grid layout, the card layout, the box layout. So that layout is most important whenever we go for displaying any component on the screen. So layout first need to be initialized whenever you go for AWT components. And then after that, as far as the requirement is concerned, regarding the form designing, you have to use the different classes. So text field is for the purpose of displaying the text field, label class for displaying label on a screen, text area for displaying what you call as an address, what you call as a text box with different multiple rows and columns, check box, radio buttons, choice for displaying the different choices, and the list. So these are the basic classes you will find, and we'll have an ample number of examples and the corresponding event listeners which are associated with different classes of these components. We'll go into detail today itself. So are you clear with the package and the different classes which are present into this AWT package? Yes. Shall we move further then?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, basically, whenever you go for designing any form, you have to keep in mind that what are things which are most important whenever you go for the GUI representation. Now, in this, what we have seen is that Basically, it starts this hierarchy of AWT starts with the object class. Now, object class contain components. Now, as far as components are concerned, these are different types of components you will find in your what we call as an AWT hierarchy. There is a button, a label, checkbox, choice, list, and there is a container. Now, this product where you want to put, that is majorly you have to specify the container whenever you want to display this different types of components. So container is nothing but one of the class which is again present into your component, and we'll be using this container frequently. Now, of your what do you call it as an Windows application, there is an Windows in which you can place this all components into this frame. And as far as hierarchy is concerned, we have to use this frame class. We don't use container directly because this is an abstract. Windows, this is an abstract. Now, basically, the frame class is used for the adding all elements of your like button, label, checkbox, choice, and the list. All are being added into this frame. Now, dialog box is nothing but your whenever you want to show any message or you want to take some confirmation that yes or no. At that situation, this dialog box is being created. Now, this is again a part of a Windows. So, whenever you want to display anything on a Windows, it is a frame that is required. But another thing is that is you can display in the panel also. Now, whenever you want to display anything on a browser, now see executing on a browser is nothing but it has been done by applet. Nowadays, no one use this panel or an applet class for executing your output. But whenever Windows application are concerned, majorly it is only focusing on the frames. So we have to keep in mind there are frames, there are dialogues which are present in the Windows part of a container, and container is nothing but a component of your AWT as an object. So this hierarchy you have to keep in mind. Now we'll talk about this container in detail. Now the container is a component in AWT that can contain another component. So this is what we call as container. This is actually component, but it has a ability to add this different components into this container. So though it is a part of a component class, but still it can hold different types of components like button, label, checkbox, choice, and list. All it can be added. It should be added into container. So this is something what we call as a specialty of a container. The container is a component in AWT that can contain another component. So one thing you have to keep in mind, like buttons, text fields, labels, etc. The classes that extend container classes are known as the container, such as frame and dialog and panel. So basically, you will find these are the only three classes, that is contain, frame, dialog, and uh, panel. So panel is again a class. Applet is only the purpose of executing. So applet is not an exactly direct class. You just have to extend those features. That is applet lifecycle, some functionality you have to use. But basically panel, frame, and dialog, these are the three major classes of your container. So this is one thing you have to specify in the container. Now, as far as windows are concerned, you'll get a window is a container that have no borders. So it has no borders and menu bars. So what is specialty of this window is that previously whenever we open any window in your operating system, you'll find automatically there is a menu bar. So file, edit, that type of options are being displayed. Now this is a window which is somewhat different. Now this is a window being generated by Java without border and without a menu bar. So we'll be generating a windows without border and without menu bar by directly calling the frame classes. So frame, that is a frame class, and a dialog. There are different dialogues. So if you want to display an alert message or a confirmation message, you have to use this nothing but a dialog boxes for displaying some message on a screen. So this is nothing but a part of a window. Then a panel. Whenever we want to display anything on a what do you call as an applet. So panel is a container that doesn't contain title bar. So again, panel doesn't contain title bar. So again, it doesn't contain file, input, output, and that type of menu, and a menu bar also. So title bar and menu bar both are not present. So if it is now there is no title bar, it means it will be displayed on the applet. So it contains other components like button and text box also. Now basically, Windows it contains a separate class called as a frame. So frame, we'll talk about the frame. The frame is a container that contains title bar and can have menu bar also. Can have menu bar, but here we have to create a menu bar. So you can create a menu bar into frame directly. Ready-made, you cannot receive, you cannot get a menu bar into Windows. So Windows cannot be used directly. It is nothing but a frames will be using that one. So you have to keep in mind that panels are doesn't contain title bar and menu bar, whereas frame contains title bar and can have menu bar also. So you can add those things into this. In panel, you cannot add a menu bar directly. So we'll move further. Now these are the basic things whenever you go for adding some component into your screen. So there is nothing but some four functions we'll be using frequently. That is, one is add function, that is public void add, and whichever element you want to add on your window, that component class need to be specified here. So adding those things. Then set size. If you want to set the size of your component, so you have to use the function called as a set size. So it is nothing but an height and width you have to give. Then layouts, what we have seen in the previous session, there are different types of layout. There are 9 layouts, among which we'll be working on the 4 layouts, that is flow layout, border layout, and all those layouts. So set layout is most important whenever we go for the AWT programming. And set visible, this is one more question, one more functions you have to use. If you don't use that is true, then automatically all components will never be displayed on your screen. So set visible, set layout, set size, and add. These are the 4 functions you have to keep in mind. Basically, these are the 4 things which are frequently used whenever you go for AWT components for execution. Now we'll move further. We'll have a simple example. Now, whenever we create a simple AWT example, we need a frame. Now, there are 2 ways of creating a frame in AWT. So you cannot put directly component on a Windows directly. So for that purpose, basically you need to have a container class object. So container class object of frame is frequently used, and there are 2 ways of creating the object. One is by extending a frame class. So if you want to use directly feature, that is inheritance mechanism, that is frame class directly, you extend it into your class declaration. This is one way. And second way is association. In association, what you have to do is that you have to create the object of the class within your class, that is the GUI class, which you are designing for the purpose of displaying different components. So 2 ways. One is by extending, and another one is directly calling the object, creating an object and calling that object. So you have to keep in mind there are 2 ways. So we'll be using multiple times, multiple mechanism of creating object of a frame. So one thing you have to keep in mind whenever you are going for AWT example, first thing is you have to do is that you have to extend this frame functionality, then only the container will be present. And if a container is present, then only components will be added into this container. One simple example we'll have a demonstration of that also. Now, whenever we go for writing anything that is related to the AWT, we have to import this package called as an AWT package. So first line of the code, which is concerned with AWT classes and containers. So we have to use the class package called as java.awt.star. So this star contains different types of classes which are required for the execution. Now, and this is one simple example. I am creating a class first. Now here one is the first mechanism. That is, I am extending the frame class. This is extending the frame class means what? I am using an extends keyword. So inheritance will be there. A frame will be called directly into this, what we call as a class called as a first. Now here I am creating the constructor of this class, that is first. This is nothing but a constructor. I have not here used here public. So there is no need. If you want, you can make it public also, but I am not creating it public. So just I am creating the constructor called as a public. And now I want button into my frame. So button B is equal to new button, and that I have written click me. And then b dot set bounds. Now this is for the purpose of specifying exactly what location I want to display this button. So set the bounds are nothing but the boundaries. These are the x and y coordinates. So x coordinate, y coordinate, and this is a width and height, whatever width and height you want to be displayed regarding this button. So b dot set bounds means this button will be displayed on 30 x-axis and 100 y-axis with width of 80 and height of 30 pixels. So x coordinate, y coordinate, width, and height. So these are the 4 parameters are required for displaying this button. You want to stretch the button, If you don't want, you don't use this one. But for the purpose you are concerned with GUI, you want a specific size of button to be displayed. So it is set bounds for displaying this button. Now this button I want to add. So add B. So add B. Then set size. What about the size? Size of what? This is size of frame. So whatever frame I am creating, I am setting set size. Now here I have not used any container class here. So whenever I am using extend keyword, there is no need to use a container frame object and frame dot set layout and everything that I think I have not done directly. So here what I have done is that I have just created a class and extended the feature. I have set the size of window, that is by 300 by 300. Set layout, I have not specified any layout here. So set layout is null. Set visible, I want to display everything on a screen, so it is true. If you don't want a null, by default, the one of the framework, there is a flow layout will be displayed automatically. So no layout will be displayed. So if I'm saying null, so no object is being specified. Set visible, that will be making visible this button on the screen. Okay. Now my this is executing function, that is public static void main. In this, I am creating the object of this class. That is, I am indirectly calling the constructor of this class, that is first, by saying first f is equal to new first. Okay. Now this is one example. And now a second example I'm using here. That is class. Now this is class 2. That is first 2. This is another class. And into this, the second mechanism that I am not using directly. Here I am using extend frame. So basic purpose of writing this code is that the two ways of creating. One is extending the frame class, and another one is directly of calling the object, that is doing an association of the frame class into your program. So same program, same output will be displayed. But here what we have made is that I am not extending this frame class over here. So whatever thing I need to do is that I have to first create the object of this frame class. So automatic this frame class frame f is equal to new frame. Now this frame class is automatically present to AWT. You just have to create object of this frame, that is f. Then I am specifying, just like the previous example, I have created the object of button. So button B is equal to new button, and click me B dot set boundaries. Again same boundaries, 30, 50, 80 and 30 I am specifying. Then here what I have done is that previously I have just said add button. Now here I have to specify that I have to add this button into f. And what is f? F is nothing but the frame object. So frame dot add, frame dot set size, frame dot set layout, frame dot set visible. So this is nothing but, and the same example, I am creating object of this class. Indirectly, I'm calling the constructor of this, and the constructor will do all its initialization. So this is the basic difference whenever we go for the inheriting the frame. So this is nothing but called as an inheritance, and this is nothing but called as an association. Inheritance required whenever you are inheriting, there is no need to specify create object of this frame, no need to use that f dot here. But when you go for association, it is most important that you have to create object first thing, frame object, you have to create the first thing, and whichever component you want to set. So if you want to set a boundary, if you want to set an, you want to add an element, if you want to set a size of that frame, you want to set a layout of the frame, or you want to set it visible, all you have to do on your frame. Here there is no need, you have not done anything. So these are the two things you have to keep in mind whenever you go for the program of AWT. Are you clear with these two things, association and inheritance? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rest all remaining. Baki ke? Are you
Yes,
clear
sir.
with this association? Okay. So we will move further. Now, most important part, when only adding element is not important. So we'll be having a program of adding those elements. Now, basic purpose is that we want to generate some events. So if I'm clicking with the button, if I'm clicking a checkbox or radio button, or if I'm scrolling the scroll bar, or if I am typing some text material, text on your text box, or if I am pressing an enter button, or if I am closing a window, everything which is done on AWT is been manipulated, is been executed by some classes. Now these are the 11 basic event which are being generated. These are the basic 11 event classes. You have to keep in mind the name of a class and its corresponding listeners. So this is you have to mug up. It is only possible. This same thing will be using in Swing also. There is no change in Swing. These are the classes which are present in java.awt.event package. In this event package, you should know all the classes and its corresponding interfaces which are required for this. And there are corresponding functions also. We'll go into detail about the functions also. But today we'll go for the action event. So action event is a class which will be generating action listener. So action listener indirectly will be associated only with the action listener. Mouse event class will be associated with mouse listener and mouse motion listener. There are different functions which are present. Now this class, it doesn't have any functions. So all functions are being written directly into these interfaces. Or each class has minimum one function or more than. So when you go for mouse listener, there are 4 or 5 functions. So you should know each and every functions of mouse listener. There are 2 functions in mouse motion listener. So we'll go into detail about that also in future session. Now major focus is that we'll be going only for the first displaying the elements on your screen, and then we'll be going for event listener. Basically, you have to keep in mind the different 11 classes. So there is action event, mouse event. Mouse event has 2 different interfaces, that is mouse listener and mouse motion listener. What is it? We'll look in the future session. Then there is mouse wheel event. Now this is associated with the mouse that is having a what do you call as wheel in the center. The left and right button contains one wheel, and that events will be generated whenever you are using that wheel. So that is mouse wheel event, and there is one class interface, that is mouse wheel listener. So it is very simple to understand. You just have to keep in mind the name of the classes. Automatically, its corresponding listeners will be in front of you. So mouse wheel event. One second. One second. So that there is a mouse wheel event. Then there is a key. Whenever we are concerned about the keyboards, so there is a key event. So corresponding key listener is there. Whenever you are using any what is called as an drop down button, so there is an item event. So drop down for the purpose you have used item event, is item listener. If you are concerned with the text box and it's text, whenever you are using anything, that is a text event. So there is a text listener. Adjustment event and adjustment listener. This is again related to your what we call as an scroll bars and all those things. So Windows event for the minimizing and maximizing, and then closing those windows. So even window listener is there for the purpose of Windows. Then component event for component listener, container event, container listener, focus event, focus listener. Now whenever you go for the GUI design, you are majorly focusing with action event, mouse wheel event, key event, item event, and text event. And at the most, some situation adjustment event are required, and Windows event. Now below 3 events are not majorly being used whenever you go for designing. So you have to keep in mind action event, mouse wheel event, key event, item event, text event. Only one thing is different in here. Here is that mouse event contains mouse listener and mouse motion listener. Rest you will find the same name: mouse wheel event, mouse wheel listener, key event, key listener. One thing is only different. You have to keep in mind, that is mouse event contains 2 listener, mouse listener and mouse motion listener. Okay. So are you clear with this one? 11 different events and its corresponding 11 different classes. Yes. Yes. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So we'll move further. Now these are the event. Now see, these are the classes. These are associated with some listeners. And now you are specified with this listener. Now this is an interface. So interface contains some functions. And if it's contain one function, there is no issue. Whenever you are using these interfaces, it is a duty of a programmer that you should know the definition. There are different functions which are present into this listener classes. So you have to bug in any situation कि which all functions are present into this action listener. तो आपको ये ध्यान में रखना ही पड़ेगा. So when we go for the first one, now these are the following steps are required to perform event handling. So what are the things you have to go do is that register the component in the listener. So you have to do it. The first thing is that you have to register the component in the listener, and then registration methods. Then nothing but registration method. Now we'll go into detail what all functions, what all listeners can be generated by a specific element, that is a specific class. Now whenever you're concerned with the button, so there is one function, listener you have to create, that is add action listener. So you have to add this listener, that is action listener. So action listener is an interface which is associated with the button only. So if you are doing with anything with the button, you have to keep in mind there is only one interface, that is action listener. Okay. So we will not talk about the function what is add action listener. So this is nothing but an action, what you call as a function to add this listener to this specific button. So if you are concerned with the menu item, you want to add event listener to that. There is again a menu called a action listener. So action listener is associated with button. Action listener is associated with menu item, and action listener is again associated with the text field. So whenever I am pressing any buttons or text field, I want to generate something after clicking that text box. So again, that is an action listener. This is one thing. So button contains action listener, menu items contain action listener, text box contain action listener and text listener. So two interfaces are associated with text field. Same way, text area also contains text listener, checkbox contains item listener, choice contains item listener, list contains action listener, that is just like in button also, and list also contains item listener. So basically you will find whenever you are talking about these different types of components, you will find as far as button is concerned, menu bar, menu item, text field, text area, checkbox, choice and list. You will find majorly action listener is preferably be used, and as far as a checkbox, choice and list is concerned, item listener is required. Okay, so item listener is for the purpose of checkbox, choice and list. Action listener is for you can use in button, menu bar, text field, and in list also. And text listener is used in text field and text area. So text listener only for text field and text area. So you have to keep in mind this thing. Once. So are you clear with this one? Yes. The different interfaces which are associated with the specific set of classes. Yes. I will share the notes of this also. Okay. So we'll move further. Now, whenever you are doing any program, whenever you are writing some event listener, that is event handling code, there are three ways. That is, you can write within a class, outer class, and in a different way, that is anonymous class. We'll not have an example today on this. We'll move further. This example I will do whenever we enter directly into event listener. First, today's assignment will be on displaying different components and its corresponding action listeners. We'll be having an example. Today we'll look up into detail about the button, label, and text field. So today's session is only dedicated to button, label, and text field. And there will be an assignment at the end of the session also. You have to complete some assignments also. So today will not assign. Tomorrow we'll be having one a simple example. You have to create a window application that will be designing some GUI frames, and you have to display it, and then after that we'll be entering into action listener. So today we'll be focusing on displaying a button, displaying a label, and displaying a text field. Okay, using AWT component. So we'll go directly for the executing this program. The first program you can write in a page also, on a page also. Write a program to display a button using AWT components. Write a program to display buttons using AWT component, and I am expecting that you should write each and every code into a separate 200 pages notebook, and then after that it is will be very simple for you to create some good GUI for your application. So this is the first example. Here it is very simple. Here I am importing the AWT component. Then I am creating a class called as a button one. So here I have given a name called as a button one. I have written a public static void main. Now this is association I'm using. I'm not extending this frame into this directly. So frame This is nothing but I am giving association. So frame, my first duty I have to do is that I have to create the object of a frame class. So frame f is equal to new frame, and I'm giving a name called as I'm giving a name to this frame. So we'll see the output of this where this button example is being displayed. So you can give a name to the frame also. So this is nothing but you are passing some value to the constructor of this frame. Now it is duty of the constructor to display this in a specific part of your frame. So I'm creating this one. Now on that frame, what I want, I just want one button, only one button. So button B is equal to, what I have to do is that I have to create an object of the button class. Button B is equal to new button, and I will be writing something on a button. The name I want to display on a button is click here. So this will be displayed on the button. Now set bounds. This is one function of a button class. So B is nothing but object of button B. And here I will be specifying its X coordinate, Y coordinates, its width and height. So everything will be displayed, will be generated in this object. And after that, I'll be adding this on a frame. So F is an object of frame. F dot add button, that is B. And I'm setting a size 400 by 400 of the frame. So F dot, it is not a size of a button, it is size of a frame. F dot set size. Then F dot set layout. I don't want any layout to be used. So I'm specifying set layout as null. And I'm saying F dot set visible as true. So I want to display this button. So that's why I have using keyword called as true. So you keep in mind, these are the four things you have to write whenever you are adding, displaying, and you want to specify any frame. So add, set size, set layout, and set visible. So we have seen already these are the four basic functions which are required for displaying anything on your screen. So I'm running this program. It's a very simple program, and we'll be displaying this. And you see this will display a product on axis 50. That is, button will be displayed on 50 x-axis and 500 on y-axis with some specific width and height. So I'm running this program. One second, it is getting compiled. So it is again. Are you clear with this one now? It is getting executed. Just a minute. Are you clear with this one? What all functions are required for adding one element and layouts, and what all basic functions, that is set size, set layout, and set visible is required for displaying something. So it is taking, after 1 week it is started, so it is taking some time. Okay, now see, this button is displayed. Now see, x-axis means what? From this left corner, I am moving this product to the 50 pixels towards the right. So 50 space will be occupied. Then 100 from the top side. You send this is over 50 and this is 100. And I'm specifying its width as 80 and its height as 30. So these are the four parameters of set bounds. If I want this to be displayed as 150, so just I'm saying 150. I'm stopping this application now. And again, I'm running this program. So we'll get, see, now it is moved on the center one. Now I'm changing it to 180. That is, Now see the button is very long. So the third parameter is nothing but a width. Now I'm changing its height also now. Now it is not getting close. What I have to do is that I have to close from here. So again, I want this button to be very broad. So 130. So I'm running this program. Okay. See now see this. So we have used this four parameters of set bound. So this is nothing but an x coordinate. This is nothing but a y coordinate. So what our space you require, a specific location. So here it is starting for this. This is a starting point. So where from which location this button should be displayed. So this location here it is 150 on x-axis and 100 on y-axis. So this is a location where the button will be specified. Then 180 is the width of the button and 130 is the height of this button. So these are the four parameters of this one. Now this is what we have done with using what association of frame. Okay. Now we'll go for displaying some label. Very simple. Same type of program. Here we'll be displaying some label. Now in previous example, I have missed something. That is, I have not shown you the frame name. So we have added something into that is frame example. That is button example was added into frame. So it is exactly what is happening and where it has been displayed. So we'll go for that also. So I am running again the same folder. I'll be displaying this button example again. Now where it has been displayed. So whenever the frame is been displayed, you see this name. This name is given by the constructor of this frame object. Okay. So this will be displaying that is button example. And if you don't specify anything over here, then only the program will get executed because you don't want anything to be displayed on a frame as a name. So I'm running again the same thing. And you will find there is only Java symbol. Rest nothing is written on this screen. So see, nothing has been written on the screen of your frame. Now see, this is a frame, just a frame with some no menu bar, nothing has been displayed. It's just a frame, and we are just adding. And this is white color. This is nothing but a container of a frame. And container of a frame doesn't contain any border. It is just a I'm creating an object of a frame. Then I want two labels to be get displayed. So I'm creating an object of a label and I'm specifying as first label. Okay. Then again, same thing, I want to set some boundaries. So set boundaries. I want some specific location where it should be displayed. So again, 50 on x-axis, 100 on y-axis, width of 100, height of 30. This part will be occupied by this label called as an L1. So L1 will be set to the boundaries of 50, 100, that is 50 on x-axis, 100 on y-axis, with some width and with some specified height. So this L1 will be displayed. Same way, I am creating object of L2. L2 is nothing but an initialized object of label. So here I am using new label and I am using second label that will be displayed on this label. So whichever thing I am writing on here will be displayed on this label button. Okay, on this label as an object. So same size of width and with same height of that label too. Now after that I'm adding L2. So again it is added as L2. Then set size. So I am setting a size of a frame that is 400 by 400. This is nothing but a size of a frame. Then I don't want any layout, so I am setting set layout as null. So no layout. I just want it to be displayed directly on screen. And set visible. So I want all the components to be displayed on a screen. So set visible too. And now I am running this program. Now this label, first label example is being displayed here. Then I'm adding these two labels. So label, first label and then a dot is being displayed here. Now where it is being displayed, it is set bounds. So bounds is nothing but x. This is exactly where this location starts. So x-axis 100 and y-axis 100. X-axis on 50 pixel, y-axis on 100 pixel. I am displaying this content with some width of 100 and height of 30. Same way, I am using the second, that is second label, that will be displayed on 50 on x-axis, but on y-axis the count is been increased to 150. So again, it is specifying some location label 2. And after that, these components have been added. Now see, there is nothing click event being generated over here. So nothing is added over here. Okay. So this thing you have to keep in mind. Now, are you clear with this label? How to add this label?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then only it is possible. Now the third thing, that is, I want a text box. I want a text box to be get displayed. So again, same mechanism of association, that is, I am creating object of frame, new frame, and I am writing a text feed example. Then I want two text boxes. So text feed initialization, so text T1 and T2. Now one first text box. Now this is a part will be displayed by default in your text box. So welcome to IBM Mari. This will be displayed automatically in your text box. T1 is equal to new text field. Now text field, there is no text box. Huh? Text box is a name will be used in VB. That is in VB, you will find that is a text box. In Java, it is text field. So text field is the name of a class. So text field, and I am writing something into, by default, this part will be getting displayed on your text field. Again, set boundaries. I want the text box should be displayed in some location. So that is set bounds, x-axis, y-axis, some width and of 200 and height of 30. Again, I'm using a creating object of another text box, that is T2, which is already initialized in your text field. So here we are creating object of this by using a text field constructor. So again, I'm writing something into that text box, and again, I am setting some boundaries to that text box. Now this part is nothing but we are initializing the text box, and we are setting the location where it should be displayed. Now the duty starts here. Now where here I am saying that it is T1 and T2. Now what I will do is that I will remove this one, and I will put this part at the end. Now the T2 will be the first text box and T1 will be the way you add. Though you have initialized T1 first and then T2 first, same you have done with label here also. Label 1 was initialized first and label 2 was initialized second, but you have added label 1 first and label 2 second. So it we have seen that label 1 is being displayed first and then label 2 is being displayed. Now I'm interchanging something in the text field here. Now first I'm adding T2, that is text box 2 into the frame. Then I am adding the text box 1 into the frame. And then by default, we have to set some size of the frame. So it is 400 by 400. Then a layout I need to nullify, that is I am passing null value to the set layout. And I won't display this all components on a screen of a frame. So set visible, I have to specify that true. Now the first, you will see that though you have initialized first that object T1 and T2, but still whenever you go for the adding those elements, it will be following the sequence of adding, that is add function. So what we have seen in linked array list and all those things, so it is nothing but an what is called as a list. So this list will be added automatically into the frames. So we'll see the output like this. Something went wrong. Label wall. Saving this one. Something went wrong, I think. It is using my previous compiled classes, so I need to delete that first. But you will never go for like this. It is that first you will get in this AWT example to be get displayed first, and then the welcome to IOMED. So this is text box with default values into that. So these are the default values. You can remove that values also, and then you can add something into that. So today we have seen the three different types of components. We'll stop today here itself. What we have there done is that we have to do some revision of that part also. So you have to keep in mind there are different even listeners we have used. Tomorrow's session will be purely dedicated on the execution of different components of your AWT, and we'll be going into detail about the different listener classes and corresponding class interfaces which are associated to that classes. We tomorrow will go into detail the different button events, manual item events, text field events. So all will be the tomorrow session dedicated to that. And apart from that, will be tomorrow we'll look into detail how we'll be using the mechanism of writing a code, that is event handling code, in three different ways, that is within a class, outer class, and anonymous classes. So tomorrow's session will be dedicated on this. So in 2 3 days we'll be completing with the AWT components tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and then after that we'll be entering into Swing components. So parallelly we are doing two things. One is we are knowing the information, we are going into detail about different components of AWT, and apart from that we'll be going into detail about the action listener which are corresponding to the corresponding components of that AWT. Same way, we'll be entering doing the programs for your Swing components also. The name of a Swing components which are associated with the Swing package, and the different types of action listeners which are associated to the specific Swing components. And then after that, we'll be stopping that chapter. And what you have to do is that you have to create a separate GUI forms. You have to create a specific forms based on a scenario which has been which will be provided to you after the each session. So we'll meet tomorrow on the same time, that is on 10 a.m., and we'll go into detail about the different components of AWT. Is there any question? If you want, you can ask directly now. Yes. Any question? We have not entered into action listener now. We are just executing different classes. We are adding those components into the container classes, and we are displaying in the format of a frame. We are not executing in a panel, or we are not displaying in the applet also. We are just displaying in a frame. Yes, any question anyone want to ask? Yes. Yes, anyone?
No, sir.
ऋषिकेश काही नाही. गर्ल्स बोलो.